My girlfriend and I were attacked by a ghost. So last weekend my girlfriend and I were attacked by a ghost. Now I should mention that my family has a long history of being able to see and feel ghosts going back to my great-grandmother. My father was very sensitive with this kind of stuff and would often tell me about his experiences with ghosts around my house and his experiences with a Ouija board he played when he was younger. My brother and I are both able to see and feel ghosts, and he has been talking about a woman in white that has been roaming the house, specifically his room. We've both seen her and it's been going on for a few years, but she never really bothered us, so we didn't mind her being around. However, recently I've been getting the feeling that there might be something a little more sinister around the house. Last weekend my girlfriend and I were laying in bed and all of a sudden our dog goes ballistic and is running to the curtains blocking the door and pacing back and forth. I tried to calm her down but she wouldn't sit still, so I opened the curtains and took her outside to show her nothing was there. When we came back and my girlfriend told me she was smelling something burning and I noticed it too, so I went upstairs to check it out and my brother brought it up as well. However, I wrote it off as a neighbor burning plastic or something and decided to close the curtains and go back to bed. While we're laying down our dog is still livid and darting around the room following something. So I jokingly look over to my girlfriend and say something along the lines of, "Oh, watch out, it's the ghost." She didn't find it very funny but we decided to test my theory. I have a suit hanging up off of a speed bag I hung up on the wall. Seat is off and just for shits and giggles I say, "If you're there, move the pants that are hanging up on the speed bag," and sure enough they start to sway back and forth. We then decide to test it further and tell it to open the curtains. Now the curtains start to slowly inch open. At this point our dog is calmed down but she is visibly scared. I then tell it to move my state flag that is hanging on the wall beside our dog. The flag never moved but our dog sticks her tail between her legs and runs to the other side of the room and hides behind my girlfriend. So I walked over to where she was and the air was ice cold. At this point I absolutely knew there was a ghost here, however I wasn't sure if it was one to be worried about, as there are 3 to 4 ghosts around my house/property and I'm only worried about the one, now too, that is outside by our fire pit. So I began to test how nice it was, which was an awful idea. I threatened to kick it out, took off my cross and went around the room with it in my hand saying Bible verses and such. Then when I lay back down my left shoulder blade began to burn. My girlfriend checked it and sure enough right where the burning was there were multiple scratches. Now at this point my mood began to shift. I got very angry and started cussing the ghost and telling it I'm going to kick it out. After that my entire back began to burn. I hadn't been scratching my back and neither had my girlfriend. This all happened within 2 minutes. She checked me again and now my entire back was scratched and red and hot. I'm in a tremendous amount of pain and my girlfriend wants to leave the room, so we run up the steps and I realize our dog is still downstairs. So I ran back down and while I'm grabbing her my girlfriend starts to scream and yell for me. While I was down the steps she felt something grab and rip at the back of her thigh and needless to say we hightailed it out of there. After calming down we went back downstairs and tested it some more. We got it to move some more things and then I took her home. We both stated as soon as we left the house we felt instantly better. My back had just stopped burning at that point. After I dropped her off I went back to my house and whenever I walked through the door it was like running into a brick wall. Everything felt heavy and dreary and it was uncomfortable to sleep there that night. Every time I talk about it now my back starts to burn again where the scratches are. I also have pictures of all the scratches, so if this does well I will post them on my profile.